Hey everybody, how's it going? Lawler here. We've been asking a lot about international competition lately. Obviously, a lot of content focused around the major. And one of those things is minor regions. A lot of people don't really give minor regions the love I think that they deserve. I think they're a lot better than the general population really gives them credit for. So in today's video, we put that to the test. I ended up taking one of the best teams from the minor regions, in this case, Renegades, the #1 seed from OCE region, and had them play against North American competition. And to really show and try to create some of this conversation, I ended up having them not just play RLCS teams at the top of North America like everybody else expects. I wanted to see how they would stack up against some of the bubble scene, because obviously the bubble scene also doesn't get enough credit. While I do think that they have the talent, I think it's more of the mental side of things that they tend to struggle with. So we took some of the most notable ones, the first one being Power with Forky, Nibra, and Noxes, and had them go in a best of 7 against Renegades. And then right after that, we have them playing against NXT, and some surprising results in that one as well. One player in particular that I think you guys are going to be excited to learn about. So with that said, 2 best of 7s. We've got OCE versus the NA bubble scene. Enjoy. Enough talking about it. Let's jump into it. We got Renegades Power best of 7 coming at you. And excited to see how this one goes. And of course, it starts off with Kami getting a demo. Something he does so much.
Well, he's always the leader, that linebacker position for Renegades. CJ almost getting a good shot, and Fever gonna come up and get it. Power actually collapsing on net very well there. It kind of looked like Renegades would have had a guaranteed shot there, but they just weren't able to make it push through. So already Power kind of showing a little bit of good signs.
A couple things I'm going to be paying attention to as well is right now the kind of deep third meta that we've been seeing out of NA, kind of deemed by the whole point of what Garrett G has been pushing for that team over on NRG, as the first goal almost coming out from Power, followed by Forky. It's going to be a bad shot. And a soft one, easily read near post by Kami as CJ takes to the sky. Good 50 and drops straight back down. As it's played infield, Fever with a shot. Their new striker, it goes wide. Still scoreless here, first minute in.
Power playing that offense as well, playing that linebacker position. That's become significantly popular in NA as well as that deep third, and there's the deep third paying off. Noxes with a big save. But that linebacker position in NA, clearing a road for the shot to go through uncontested, that has been a big thing so far that we've seen develop in like the last 6 months to a year or so.
Rough touch by CJ. Luckily, nobody able to take advantage of it. It's going to be Kami again. Able to swing it right back in. Forky soft touch and flicks off. So no possession on this one. Should give it back to Renegades as it drops straight down. Double commit, and this has been the problem child. Is Fever. Double touch. He makes it look easy. Renegade strikes first.
Big self pass off the backboard. A little bit of clustering on defense will lead to an easy shot by Fever, and those are the kind of little wrinkles in the game that I was talking about for Power. They double commit. Occasionally team communication isn't there, and that's the kind of punishment that they get for it. And at this level, when you're Renegades, you will capitalize on every single mistake. It doesn't matter how small it is. So if you're Power, you have to be perfect here.
Bring it back to the moment, even at the fall split major, where he did exactly that. He had one off the backboard with a flip reset and then put it far post. The Fever adding a lot to this offense as they actually find themselves on defense. It's going to be Fever. He tries to go around one and gets demoed, but a back pass, a little bit aggressive, still allows them to get possession. CJ, safe touch off the backboard, plays back inside and a quick redirect. Kami's going to be there, and the control as he tries to bring this one over the top. He does get bumped off it. Possession back to Power. So a little bit shippy here early in game one as expected as we approach halftime, but a shot still not on the mark. And the first goal, although a mechanical one, does come off of a defensive mistake. A double commit that I've been worried about coming out from Power.
You know, Lawler, this is much more even than I was expecting at this point. I was expecting to have a 2, maybe even 3-goal lead from Renegades, but Power, they've been doing well on defense, and just as I say that, I cast a cursor.
Hey man, it just feels like only a matter of time. The other thing too, like I've been blessed to be in the comms of Renegades at times, and they're a goofy bunch. They like to have fun. So my curiosity is, like, obviously there's the expectation of them being the team that's top 16. hey, you got to be the team to win. So, like, how seriously are they taking it? It is a scrim. Obviously, they're trying to put their best foot forward, but I'm also a little worried about this roster because they are a bunch of goofballs. So, curious on the approach. It is game one. There's going to be some jitters, but as both teams, I guess, kind of settle in, you may see that score line add up. But yeah, credit to Power. Obviously, been able to fend off a little bit better than I expected to.
But Power, they have been making a couple mistakes, particularly at the midfield, and I talked about that midfield control I would like to see from them. They haven't had it. Example there, as they are forced back off of this one when they had two really great opportunities for a pass to center and maybe even a shot coming out of it. But they just threw it away, unfortunately, so Renegades collapses on it and sends it back up the field. And this is the kind of mistakes that we see, unfortunately, from a lot of the bubble scene at NA and EU. And what separates them from that highest level are these tiny little mistakes that you see them make and just get capitalized all day long by RLCS teams. And CJ gonna prove my point.
Hey, man, you're waiting for that 3-0 lead, and here it comes. Fever up top high. Looks like he has a touch on it, but because he whiffs, not sure if intentional or not. CJ's there for the follow-up, and the fact that they're sending two in the air and leaving Kami just back to fend for himself, a little worried about that one. So there is chances for Power to punish, but despite some of these plays developing and they have the right idea, it's just that third touch they need is this one's gonna be a free counterattack. Hasn't really connected, and that's, I think, been the issue. Is like the idea is there, they find passes to each other, they work in open field. Then the third person who needs to be in the right position is either cheated up a little bit too far, the pass just isn't right on, and the flow really starts to break down. You saw it, like you mentioned, in the midfield, where there would be a pass that would come out, and then the second touch is behind them, or it's a little bit awkward, and then everything else just falls apart. And teams at this level are going to punish you for that. So a little bit of a solo play. Unfortunately, can't get the flick. It is going to be Renegades back up. 50 seconds to go, up by 4, looking comfortable.
He's going to try and set it back to the mid. Able to 58 with Fever. CJ collapses on it in air at the midfield. Forky looking to demo Cammy out of the way. Cammy goes off the upside of the goal. Not able to get it back out. Is finally able to get it clear. He'll chase it back upfield too and get stopped on the backboard. So Power successfully goes back and defends against that counterattack. And I think they're just kind of fall into a rhythm here as they know this game's over. So they're just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
At the same time, too, it's like you don't want to get shut out in this moment. You're talking about confidence. And that's been a lot of the, I guess, struggle, I would say, from Power. The stuff that we don't really talk about as much is the mentality, you know, the pressures and the strain that comes from it. This is an opportunity for them to obviously improve, to learn from, especially against the top-tier roster in the RLCS. But their mentality definitely seems like they get hard on themselves, or they get to that point where it's like, hey, we're almost there, and then they just kind of collapse. There is no expectation of them here. You are here to learn and get better. So hopefully they can kind of settle into this game as the first one, obviously hugely in favor of Renegades as we take a look at the highlights. But again, just settle down. A lot of jumpiness, and Kami's going to cause that. He is going to demo chase you, but the double commits on the backboard, going off the back wall, stuff like that, they do need to clean up. The difficulty in the consistent teams is obviously they come in with a game plan. They know exactly what they want to accomplish, but the little things, the fundamentals are not being messed up on. So I think all these guys do have a lot of fundamental skill. The difficulty is when the pressure and relying on other people and the initial attempt doesn't really work out is when it falls apart. So I wouldn't be surprised if Power focuses more heavily on a solo-esque playstyle. Like, yes, be selfish and greedy with the ball, but make sure you communicate that with your teammates so they can get into a position to follow it up. I could see some success, but half the time it's just them throwing a body at it. And I'm like, why would you ever go for that in the first place? So some things to learn from, but again, a lot of series left to go in this best of 7. First one, like we said, did go to Renegades. If you guys are just joining us, we do appreciate y'all being here. As CJ just being leisurely in the corner, and that one's going to drop straight down, and a good touch by Forky to play it around. Should be able to keep this one and force a solid 50.
That's good midfield control there by Power. They are able to jump on it and prevent Renegades from getting any good control over it. That's a good shot. Double commit for the save, but they do pinch it back out. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make something of that offensive stance, but that was progress for Power right there.
A little bit of weird challenge by Kami, too far away. Surprised he committed as hard as he did. He probably could have faked it and would have been fine, but Fever going to bump in the corner. Minimal boost for Forky, so he's going to have to rotate out. Should be a quick counterattack over to Fever. Back around. Kami's got a shot opportunity, but Forky is there. It's a good challenge in the corner by Nibra. Trying to force something Renegades on top of everything. No real wiggle room for Power. They've got to find a way to change up this pace because so far they've been suffocated.
At the same time, though, Power hasn't really given Renegades a lot of wiggle room here. Really stopped up a lot of their issues on defense that they were having, at least in the first 2 minutes of this game. That's a big shot. Triple commit for the defense, and another shot by Nibra, but he's not able to push it through. Fever able to send it away. Off the backboard for Noxus. Another shot, but it's off target. And one more. What a save. What? Are you kidding me? Finally, Noxus is able to push it through. What are you doing, Power?
We talked about not being able to find the 3 or the 4 or the 5, and this time, finally, some consistent offense. Renegades still not making it easy, though. They were in some really bad situations, flat-footed near post, and they were still able to get saves. So, Power able to show that Renegades can bleed, but can they hold on? A lot of time still left on the clock. CJ and Renegades up on offense in the orange half. Drop down and a good 50. A good slow play to dribble it out. Buys a lot of time and a good monstrous flick. Kami goes for a pinch and still somehow recovers up to it and plays it into the midfield. Into the corner. Double touch from CJ. Doesn't get it behind it.
And he gets demoed. That leading demo for Noxus. And another one. He's being a bully on the defensive line. Unfortunately, Nibra was not in position to try and make a touch. Wasn't ready for the Noxus demo. Does get cleared back, but Noxus taking it back upfield. Falling into a little bit of a ping-pong situation here, and it's regaining a foothold that Power will have to be strategic with here.
It is something you do see out a little bit of Renegades, and they've actually made it intentional a little bit more over the past probably 4 or 5 months, where OCE, for some reason, does always regress back to boom ball, where they're just like, hit it really hard, put some pressure, as CJ finds a beautiful angle. But they pair it with demos now. A lot of time when they're booming it, you can see Kami sweeping through on the back end and trying to open up some opportunities. And it does that here. You've got 2 players that are now pushing up. One's out of position, rotating near. And eventually they just find a good angle from CJ. So they tie it up. Only about a minute left. Or a minute later, I should say. But much closer here, Kiga. I'm actually enjoying this.
Yeah, this is actually starting to turn into a series, potentially. I still think Renegades easily has the upper hand. But Power kind of proving us wrong a little bit that this would be a complete slapping. Forky in the corner. Not able to control it. CJ back upfield. Nothing going there for Renegades control. Nox is able to sit behind it. Has 100 boost too to follow it up. Not well communicated though. Double commit's going to lead to no offensive presence for Power on that one. And a mistouch by Fever though will make that one not dangerous either for Renegades.
Yeah, it was a good vision on the back end. They clear it down far, but a redirect not able to connect. You know, we talk about the expectations that we have from these players, especially ones at, you know, the RLCS level, main event wise and everything. And despite all that expectation, we don't really express like how difficult it actually is. You know, we just come with yeah, you're supposed to hit that. You're a professional, and these guys do make it very easy to enjoy. So again, a little bit of strain here as Nibra able to bring it out and immediately met by Kami. It's in the midfield, one of the better positional players in my opinion. As CJ decided to take it solo and off the backboard, does apply a lot of pressure, and Kami again there to bail them out. So good presence in the midfield, surviving on minimal boost, but making sure not to rotate out so they can keep that pressure. Eventually gets a chance to escape, but Nibra with a good 50. This is an opportunity. Forky's already up. That could be a goal, but it's a beautiful save and read by CJ. And back the other way we go. Fever gets underneath it, trying to recover and force a 50 straight up. Kami's there. And that one's going to fly out in the midfield for no. Noxus keeps it alive. Chance by Power on target. And I expect him to put this one down unless... No, Renegades, of course, going to go out with a fight. We go into our first overtime.
I was not expecting the series to go to an overtime even once. So, you know what? I'll take it. Power should already be happy with this. But if they can pull out a win here, this will be huge. Renegades kind of being challenged a little bit, and Power getting better and better at the midfield as the series goes on. Opportunity, Nibra to Forky, W for Power!
You know, it was one transition and then just a missed touch. You saw the challenge by Fever and he doesn't connect, but again, the follow-up is there. There's one thing about Power we all know, and they are fast and aggressive, and they're paying it off here. So we take a look at the highlights. Again, a lot of aggression, and sometimes... It looked like Power was so close to getting more, but finally some consistent offense, some cleaner rotations, and they capitalize. Renegades might have a fight cut out for them.
Yeah, the biggest difference between Power in Game 2 to Power in Game 1 was that they cut down on the mistakes they made. Their rotations were cleaner, you already said it, but the mistakes were limited severely, and the mistakes they did make, the one they did make, Renegades capitalized on.
They have that expectation that we were talking about, and it obviously falls under pressure of Renegades, but again, the double commits aren't happening, the big mistakes are no longer occurring, and they're staying competitive. So, again, cleaning up the offense and the defense. As Nox is with a massive clear. It's going to be met to Fever, trying to get behind this one, and it goes back in mid. A shot over the top. CJ finds a teammate, and team counterattack. Potential chance. Goes up high in the corner, and air dribbled away. And this is what I love to see actually out of Power. You have the ability to put an immediate threat with this offense on the other way. And by going for that air dribble, not only are you forcing people out of defense, but you're also allowing your teammates to get in a better position, snag some boost. It just has so many benefits to it. So Power controlling the field well, giving themselves a fighting chance already here in the first minute.
Yeah, you know, why force two people to do what one person can do just as easily and leave the other two available to do other things? Although that's a really great team play opportunity for Power, but CJ stops that one before it could get too deadly. Fever back up. Stopped the midfield. CJ, not a great touch. Oh no, that was a great touch. Never mind for Fever, but couldn't put it on target. Cammy looking to put something down too, but Forky all over that one. And another great doink off his hood too. Back to center. Opportunity for Power, but no one is there.
Yeah, really good patience on defense there by CJ. He's in net, just sitting in the middle, trying to make himself look as big as possible. Difficulty though is when shots come in like that, you're basically just having to pre-jump it. Either way, shot goes wide. He's able to get a big counterattack. One comes out, CJ's behind. He's going to go for a pop and then immediately look for a demo. He denies the boost. No, he actually doesn't get the corner boost, so this could be an easy chance. It does allow Kami to get it. Pairs it with a demo and immediately goes back onto Forky. Clear that. Kind of reminiscent of Calm at times. As a big mistouch here. Goes over the top and possession goes back into the blue half. As Nebra fakes one in front of the other and no follow-up. As it's a big counterattack goal. That one's a little bit wide. Noxus makes a save either way. Oh, what a pass down.
Oh, my goodness. Well, calculated team play there from Renegades. Power is starting to sniff those out, though, and they're starting to change how they're playing against this Renegade squad. They're starting to see where those passes are coming in from. We've seen Renegades try a couple of those spike passes, and Power is now adjusting to that. Exactly what you'd want to see from a bubble team. Figure out how to adapt to your opponent.
Again, a big opportunity here from Power. The expectation obviously is low, and despite that, they're putting forth their best effort. This is a good learning opportunity, as we've stated numerous times, but it's one thing to kind of just fall down and take it. These guys are putting forth everything. They're making it close, and they're giving us a solid series. So at the same time, I'm sure Renegades appreciates it too. You know, they're trying to practice in boot camp. These are scrims that, you know, credit to Renegades. A lot of people don't give these guys the time of day. What a shot! I talk about being a deep third and demoing, but what a touch by Kami.
What is this? Perfect accuracy from Kami, too. Forky just couldn't get there. Kami, oh my goodness, the mechanical skill coming out from one of OCE's best players. Oh my goodness. Fever now trying to do the same thing. He's going to let it go, unfortunately. Collected well by Nebra.
Love what you talking about if you're trying to do the same thing. And I can guarantee that's probably what's happening in communication. And like, they're all making fun of Kami somehow. And Fever's like, I can't let him show me up. I got to be the one to do it.
Nah, bro. Watch, this is how you do it.
And then he doesn't do it.
Yeah, precisely. Sent back in by Forky. What? Okay. Forky, if this was calculated, I'm retiring. Because this is ridiculous. What a 50.
Yeah, a little bit telegraphed on the back end there by Kami going up the sidewall, and Forky's like, you know what? I'm first man up. I'm just going to be aggressive. Obviously benefits off the ceiling and hitting him again, but still put himself in a position to go for the read, and it pays off.
Back out to midfield, not well handled It's not a great touch. CJ gets another shot. High for Fever. Is anyone there from the Renegades? CJ is going to put it high. And that'll leave Power to send it back out. But looks like Renegades might have been a bit rattled by that unexpected touch by Forky.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there and a missed opportunity. Like going to go low on this one instead as it kicks out. And thrown right back into the midfield. Nobody really there for a touch, so possession goes back in favor of Power until it's challenged in the midfield. And again, we talk about it being a little bit chippier in game 1. You're starting to see that repeat here in game 3. There's a lot of players trying to put themselves in, I guess, an advantageous position. A little bit awkward as double commits coming out. And it's a good sign for Power. Unless we get a ridiculous shot here from Fever. We've seen him hit those before, but not able to connect a little bit wide. Maybe a little bit more than 24 boost. He could have hit it, but big clear downfield off the ceiling. And early challenges. Something that I do like about Power that I'm noticing a lot is they are not afraid to go up and get it.
You're going to have to get it here as Noxus is able to get in front of it. Ibra is going up to play that linebacker position, but Kami going to send it back upfield. And we have our second overtime of the match, Lawler. Unexpected.
You know, it's awesome. I'm really happy to see that, you know, Power is making those adjustments. The same thing applies to Renegades. You know, obviously we don't want to talk down too much to Power. It's just the expectation that's been created with Renegades in the situation they're in. The same thing applies to Renegades. You know, they've got to mix it up a little bit, and sometimes it is solo plays by Fever as he goes off the backboard, almost gets a double, and one after another. Multiple shots fended off by Power's defense.
Great stand up on the goal line for Power. They're going to have to do it again as Fever's looking to get a shot over top. CJ on target. Are you kidding me, Forky? Oh my goodness, what a save. And Power survives another onslaught. They finally get it out for some breathing room, but I think Renegades might get some more momentum as Nibra can't control it.
Off the in and down. It's going to be a quick pass over. Forky trying to make it awkward, and it pays off. Does force a fake challenge from Fever, who keeps it into the corner. Able to get there in time, but it is a demo. So a little bit of breathing room here from Renegades as they try to transition past midfield. They clear downfield, and a great read by Nibra again. He's been dominant in the midfield as he pops this one up high. Knocks his first to it. Off the ceiling, drop down, but Fever is there. Forky and Fever in the corner, trying to get some sort of offense going. Oh my gosh. Almost one touch. He almost brings it into the midfield, catches me off guard, and luckily the defense for Renegades able to hold on. But my goodness, Power send in the house until it's finally cleared out.
Opportunity now for Renegades. Try and hold it in the orange zone, but Forky mostly controls it. Is able to flick it over CJ. Baits out another challenge from Fever. That's going to give Power all of the momentum here. Nox is great 50. Nibra is there, but collapsing on it is Renegades. Fever over to CJ. Shot. This is a great opportunity. Not on target.
It's tough, but understand the reasoning there for CJ. He knows that pass is coming to him, and if it doesn't happen, that's possession going the other way. So Tommy with a massive pinch. It's going to be a great pass, and no, he can't connect. What a transition goal that would have been. But now Renegades back on offense. It's a demo and a miss clear, but Nox is there off the demo and the respawn. Perfect spot, and Fever yet again trying to go for that psycho shot. Not quite off the backboard, but still that redirect, not an easy one to hit underneath. The demo sweeping through. Love that play from Nox's, trying to get rid of that big threat who's next in line. Is it open up a chance? A shot there, just missed out again. As we approach almost our third minute into overtime. No, it's going to be over. Nox's closes it out. They're leading the series.
Completely unexpected. We thought maybe Power would take a game, but they are showing up. Nox has spaced the entire Renegades defense out and goes for the crazy angle, slow roller, but sometimes it's all it takes. Power takes game number 2, and they are completely flipping the script here. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, Power, it looks like there's just a fire lit underneath them. Obviously, we talked a little bit on that Rocketeers podcast about some of the realities and expectations of being signed by an organization. You know, Nox has pointed it out, and he's like, hey, man, like, we've got to pick up our results, because if we don't, some bad things are going to happen. I'll admit it. I'm very critical of Power, extremely critical of Power, but the fact that they've come here to play, they're controlling whatever they can. They're in a situation to where they can, you know, maybe get a little bit of love. Maybe people can turn a nod and be like, you know what, maybe they do have it capable. And the only thing that is stopping them is their momentum or their mentality or whatever the reasoning may be. But the fact that they are coming here, they're sticking it to Renegades, and they're here to compete. What more can you ask for?
They're actually doing really well on the offense right here.
Gosh.
Great opportunity, but Fever is able to come up and make the save. Noxus, slow roller, or slow popper, excuse me. Kami. Kind of bunched up in the corner is Renegades, but Kami is able to carry it back out, kind of buying his team some room to breathe. Forky will make that one safe out to the corner. A lot of back and forth in this early part of game number 4. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, with Power leading 2-1.
Love to see it, man.
Blows my mind.
Love to see it. And I just can't wait for if Renegades does drop this one. Not only do they got to bounce back immediately and play another series, but the memes that will be made. It's like CJ proposing to Turtle all over again. I can't wait.
Fever tries to carry it through. What a pass, what a 50, and what a placement for Forky. This is being in the right place at the right time and sticking with the play. Forky trying to play, well, it looks like he might have been going for a bump or something of that nature, but he's just there and ready to send it through. Sometimes, that's what you gotta do.
Again, it all starts with Nox as he reads that play into the corner. A little bit telegraphed and forces a good 50, but it's the heads-up play by Forky, making those adjustments split second to turn back into it. Ends up paying off. Is this one back across CJ? I don't think he had any boost as he's still looking for some here. Gonna have to back off. So possession now back in favor of Power, who have been dominating the offensive half essentially for the past like 8 minutes, if I'm being completely honest. We had that one insane double touch from Kami, but ever since, we haven't really seen any consistent offense. It's a good shot from Fevers. This one drops down, and good patience by him as well. Wait for that to develop as CJ. Soft floater is going to go in. They tied back up.
Just a really awkward situation for Power here, honestly. Fever wasn't expecting it to go that way, and then CJ got a weird... No, Fever, my bad, got a weird touch, and Power wasn't expecting that, and then CJ just collapses on it and sends it in on the slow popper. So, you know what? Just awkward situation for Power there, and you talked about it.
Kami.
Defense. Oh, my goodness.
Right off the kickoff, man. Not only does it pop up a little bit, so he only has to beat one, but everybody else chasing back. Niebuhr was very aggressive on that kickoff. I'd like to go back and see what he was up to on the right-hand side, but it's the thing about pros. You can't miss those, and like 9 out of 9 times they're not going to. It's very rare that you get an open net off a double touch like that and it doesn't go in.
Ibra, no touch on the backboard. Luckily, his teammate is there. Noxus sits behind it and waits for the challenge from CJ. CJ will get the touch at the midfield. Keeps it in the orange zone. CJ sends a lobber to the corner. Trying to force a mistake now from Power.
There's that double commit again. Good play by Forky as well on that backboard. Just stand behind it. That slow play allows him to force a 50, and even if a defender or an offense player comes in, it's still enough to buy some time as that one goes down, and Nibra there. So Fever going to play this one patient until Flick comes out and he gets what he wants. And Renegade's back on defense. Going back to that goal, though, it's the things that I really like that Renegades is doing when they do score. You know, Fever's in that side wall, and rather than committing to it, he stays patient as they are going to get a third one here. But when they have space, and you see a prime example of this as well, CJ just waits for that play to develop. He's in a good position, and then he strikes. You saw the exact same side on the left-hand side with Fever doing that same thing. Lets the play develop, waits for his opportunity, and then applies pressure. So Renegades starting to utilize that space that's being presented to them. Seeing if Power can adjust.
That's completely counter to what we were seeing in games 2 and 3 from Power. We were seeing them really go up there and get the ball, not really give Renegades any space to work with. And unfortunately, they just made a couple mistakes this game that have led to a couple big goals from Renegades. Noxus might be able to push this one in, though. Just puts his car behind the ball, almost able to get it through like that.
Talking about Renegades being a malleable team, you're seeing the adjustments being made, and a whole different look. And quite honestly, I think it's credit to Power. Power's making them try to play fast. And Renegades is like, you know what? We kind of can't keep up with this. This is kind of ridiculous. So they are being a bit more passive. They're letting the play develop and then going to the position to punish. So again, Power has to make those adjustments quickly. And if I'm noticing them, I can guarantee their coaches as well. CJ, flip reset. He's going to hold on to the very last second. And I don't even think he uses it from the angle that we were at. The fact that it's a threat, everybody in Power jumps and pounces on it. So everybody sub 25 boost. They're just trying to muscle their way in. It's going to be Forky with the breakout. So CJ beats to the midfield. One more touch. She's going to just push it high. It's actually a self pass and drop back down in field. Could have been a good pass, but Fever not able to connect. So possession back in Power. And back on the Renegades defense we go.
Noxus is going to get a good 50. Rolls it across center. Too close to net for Forky to make a commit on it. He's going to send it back out for, I believe that was Nibra. Fever on the backboard. He'll take it away. And continuing the offensive siege was Power, but it does get broken by Renegades. What a play by Renegades. A fake and then a touch. And I don't know what the heck they were trying there, but it almost worked.
So it wasn't good. I'm just going to leave it at that. The idea was interesting because it was, I guess, hard to read. But that pass that came across was a good downfield pass. And I didn't expect an immediate shot. And because it probably had some pace on it, they wanted to control it. So that pop-up was kind of a way to set up Kami. But Kami didn't have any boost. So it just kind of was like, yeah, I mean, that's cool. It's a cool pass, man. But, like, what do you want me to do? I'm not that tall. So just let it go.
And, you know, you talked about it there. You hinted at it. That Renegades was trying to be hard to read there.
The next time Kiga takes over the conversation, and I'll try to post a link and everything. But primarily, for those that are just joining us and don't know, right now we're currently in a best of 7. We got Renegades versus the NA Bubble. Power up first with a shot from Forky. We got a best of 7 here between Renegades and Power, and then immediately after, NXT is going to take their shot at Renegades as well. Trying to provide some exposure, not only some international competition, but also showcasing the depth that people have been asking for. Is Renegades a top 16 team in the RLCS? Yes, without a doubt. They're going to the major. But is NA able to hang? Is the polarity that comes from a minor region as glaring as we think it? You know, there's a lot of questions that we're trying to answer here. And at the end of the day, we just want some competitive Rocket League to watch. So we appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate you guys all joining in for the entertainment. And we still got a whole lot to go because this series has been dead even.
Yeah, we are 2-2 right now for those of you who are just joining us. And Renegades starting to take a couple more chances here, too. They've been spiking a few balls down in front of their own net a couple times to try and get good passes and get good clears like this. That one came off of a chance taken by Power as they committed everybody to this one. A little bit of a cheat up by Noxus, and that is all it takes is Fever to CJ, CJ to goal. 1 minute in, and it's 1 up for Renegades. And Lawler, do you think they're just getting serious now, or do you think that they are making genuine adjustments and they feel that they have been pressured pretty well by Power so far?
Well, there's a lot of really cool things that Renegades does, and a lot of it actually is credit to their mental coach. One of the newer additions to the team has really helped them just when they get in bad scenarios. The cool thing about Rocket League at the high level is most of these guys know exactly what to do. It's just you're so caught up in the adrenaline of this game because it is so punishing. We don't talk about it enough, but like you can play amazing for 5 minutes, but unless you get a goal, it honestly does not matter. It's so punishing as a game. So your mental is just 1,000 miles an hour at any given moment. And having someone in the back to be like, guys, it's fine. Like that's a great demo, by the way. But like it's fine. You can chill. You can relax. Like it's okay. Like you know what to do. Make your adjustments, but just take a breather. Allows them to kind of settle back into it. So I think they are making slight adjustments, and the players are making those decisions of, hey guys, like we're getting beat to the ball, make those. That's just
what a pass.
Wow, that is effort by Fever.
Great team play too, well communicated and everything, calculated from the moment Tommy got a hold of that ball. The pre-flip gang working out for Fever too. Wow, that was just bing bang boom, and there you go, you have a goal. And, you know, that mental game, too, as well. When you're playing those long days of, like, Swiss format in RLCS, or you have to go through, like, a huge double elimination bracket, and you're so tired by the time you get to the end of it. That's where that mental toughness and the mental game come into. The adrenaline is so high, it does genuinely tire you out.
Well, Renegades are using that to their advantage. Power's playing fast and aggressive, and there's many steps, I would say, to Power that I'm looking to. Primarily is obviously cleaning up the defense and minimizing mistakes and making sure rotations are cleaner. And it seems like they've accomplished that. You know, it seems like they've really settled into the series and feel comfortable as Forky very uniquely brings position back in their favor for a brief second. But the other side of it is making sure that the offense isn't one-dimensional. You have to make those adjustments and keep the other team guessing. And it's like, okay, if it's an air dribble every single time, someone's going to challenge that high or low. They're going to get possession back. So when's the infield pass coming? When are we going to see the solo plays? Is it going to be demos? You know, keeping that team guessing is not an easy thing to do. And right now, it feels like Renegades has figured out their offense. They have a general idea of, hey, we're going to play fast. We're going to challenge very quickly. And Renegades 9 out of 10 times is just waiting in the wing. We're going to just sit here, let this develop, unless it's an air dribble like this where we have to go and respect it. Renegades seems pretty okay with just letting it happen. So, again, Power's got to find a way to punish it. They are being given quite a bit of space. Let's see if they can use it.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual for Renegades. They aren't usually ones that give their team... Oh my goodness! Noxus! Breaking ankles the whole way!
And a
Man
good
had
trap.
a family.
He even played that pretty early. The difficulty with Kami is he's just sitting still. Space north-south, you got to go for a challenge, otherwise you're in trouble. But yeah, Noxus plays that really early. Makes one cut inside and then immediately shoots. Luckily for him, Kami not in a good position. Either way, he gets the goal. That's all that matters. And he's going to be rewarded a point. So, 1:10 left on the clock. Renegades still up by 1. Some life giving back to Power.
It's exactly what they needed right now, too. They couldn't really go too much longer in this game without a goal. Fever playing that linebacker this time. And I think Renegades... You know, you talked about it, that they're starting to figure out what Power is on about, at least what they're trying to do. So I kind of have noticed Power, it looks like they're trying to pivot more to that solo play offense that you had talked about earlier on in the match, Lawler.
Yeah,
they
really
recognize that Renegades are giving them space, and they're starting to go for solo plays.
And the benefit to doing that is not only is it, hey, you got a lot of mechanics to work with on these solo plays, but for the guys that are playing a little bit more passive, you cannot let one of these players have a free air dribble. It is a horrible idea. They will double, triple flip reset on you, whatever they want to do. So if we're going to play passive, that's fine. But by going for those solo plays, it is forcing someone on defense to go up, put themselves out of position, and it ends up working out. So Power trying to utilize that space. See if they can do it with passes as well, as Renegade's going to be happy to play keep away on this one. It's a free jump by Forky. And CJ and the guys have been burnt many a time in the past and are going to back off and kill this one, putting them at match point 3-2 in the series.
Still, though, 3-2 in the series is not what anybody was expecting. Power putting on a show for us here. Renegades looking to get a little bit more serious in the latter half of this match, recognize that they can't drop to Power, or at least they don't want to drop to Power.
More than just the polarity of Renegades 4-0, GG, easy go next like we got in the first game. So that is what I'm taking away from it, the fact that they are trying to stay competitive. But at the same time, too, like Renegades on the side of this is their first exposure to Power. This is their first time that they are having to go up against this roster. It takes some time to get used to it. So I expected a little bit of back and forth, but I am glad to see that it is much closer than what my original expectation was. But Forky on the back wall, going to have to bail himself out of this one, and he does. So into game 6, chat is at the end here. Potentially for Power. Need a win to stay alive as Renegades is on match point as they drop this one down to Fever. He finds a shot, and Nebra is there to play it to the corner, but low boost other than Forky. What can he do with it? It's back in. CJ's got one more touch. He plays it high. Is there a follow-up there? No. Power under a lot of threats, but able to fend it off. There's no one there for the follow-up. Fever in the corner. And it pitches up high as a bump attempt comes out for CJ, but Kami is there and plays it up high yet again. So one after another. Everybody coming in. And Renegades just waiting for that chance. Another shot underneath. It's awkward, and they miss again.
Oh. No one on Power was expecting that to be a bouncer either. Kami, I don't think, was expecting it to bounce out in the way it did. I think he was expecting a different bounce off the post. This might be an opportunity for Power. Scorching across was the last attacker. Quite able to get it done. Forky and Nebra combined for a good shot.
No.
It's off post. One more opportunity. Great save by CJ. One more for Nebra. He's going to keep the offense rolling and at least keeping it in the blue zone. However, Renegades will collapse on it.
Talk about the domino
Power.
effect. Oh man. That post, everybody expected that cleared that touch to happen, so nobody was ready for it. They all backed off, and it's just a wide open net. No one's there for it because they're like, yeah, of course the defender's going to hit that. Unfortunate, but like you said, Renegades is able to fend it off and bring it back the other way as they win possession here. No boost, though, as Fever still stays close, applying that pressure. CJ possibly wanted to follow up, but he gets lofted. And an early challenge keeps it in the other half, but they do throw possession. So Power responds with the same idea, but at least they've got some boost to pair with it.
You know, not just even looking at scoreline here, this is the most even game we've seen so far between these two teams. They have figured each other out at this point, and it's a matter of who can not mess up. Whoever makes the mistake first is going to go down in this game. And from the way Power's playing, it honestly might not be them. They're forcing Renegades to make some uncomfortable saves and come out and make some uncomfortable passes and plays to try and get something moving on offense, as well as dodge the demos that Power is clearing on the back line. Power is really forcing Renegades to be uncomfortable here and play a game that they are not used to.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned initially for Renegades on defense, and primarily because obviously the threat and everything that is coming through. But the side of it was actually, I think it was part of their plan. Like, you see a lot of counterattack heavy teams that really punish really aggressive offenses. And at first, Power was, I'm like, it's going to take one. Like, at one big counterattack and they're in trouble and they can concede. Because we've seen it happen to them so many times because they get a bit over aggressive. But then they pair it with demos and they keep the offense going. And there's that flow to it. It's like, okay, I'm pretty confident in this. And even with that shot coming in from CJ, it's a good save. So, yeah, very neutral game. Both teams kind of give it their all here. CJ with a beautiful read on the back wall. Kami's going to read it and play it over the top. Forky, plenty of time, and he's just going to launch it right back downfield.
Something else I want to talk about here, too. Power has not really been doing anything particularly mechanical. CJ can't keep up with it, though. Power hasn't been doing anything super mechanical. They've just been playing very textbook Rocket League, and it's been working out for them. We've seen Renegades, a lot of their goals have had to come off of mechanical flip reset or crazy angles off the backboard or something of that nature, but Power is managing to be competitive without having to do that.
Yeah, it's just been clean rotational play and a couple shot opportunities. And, you know, we obviously pay attention and show love, you know, whether it be through Twitch clips or whatever you're thinking about with a crazy redirect or a double touch and stuff like that. But, you know, the stuff that people associate Power with is a lot of mechanical faced things, and I really haven't seen. It's been fundamentals, man. It's been, like you said, very standard stuff. So to me, as crazy as it is, as much as I want the high flying stuff, I'm actually happier that the fundamentals have been paying off for them.
No, I say it all the time. I would rather watch a game where both teams are fundamentally really good because it creates close matches like this, rather than, you know, popping off flip reset goal and then back the other way.
Oh no.
Where it's like, you know, oh no,
a double
flip backboard overtime at 0-0.
I was like, please don't this be the way as we get another overtime. You got to double commit to committing to that aerial. I'm like, please no, don't let it end like this. We just praised them for fundamentals, you know. Again, that would have been telling, and that's the way it goes. So Nox is better flick this time, plays it to Forky. That's a great positioning play by Fever as he puts himself in the way. Nibra trying to go for a bump. Kami's got plenty of boost, so he's going to pop that one up high. He's able to secure the 100 on the back wall. So Renegades should be able to fend for a while as it's a big clear. Played back. That's on target. It's a good shot, and Nox is there for the save. That's the dangerous counterattack I was worried about, and they do fend it off. So Nox's good rotation is going to be there again. And they clear it out. Kami's there. Back cross field. Fever on target. CJ trying to go for the bump, and it's a goal. What? Fever's going to punish.
I'm not... Wait, this angle doesn't make any sense here. Hold on a second. Fever chips it over to the top. CJ...
just bumps Forky out of the way.
He bumps Forky out of the way and then collects it with, like, his back wheel, but... Yeah, Renegades able to take it in Game 6 in overtime, but man, Power, that is something that they can work with in the future. They showed an amazing amount of skill and team cohesion in the latter part of this series. Game 1, kind of rough.
Yeah, I think the best part...
Yeah,
go ahead.
Games 2 through 6, they collected it all together. They minimized the mistakes. Their rotations were clean. Their midfield control was also really, really good, and they forced Renegades back into their own zone more often than not.
All right, sweet. We did it. Chat, we're back. NXT Renegades, best of 7. Let's run it.
CJ started off the offense early. Kami gonna go up and try and block out an NXT challenge, but complete miss there by Nitrous. Might have been calculated. CJ chips it back to mid. Well controlled. And this is something you'll notice out of NXT. Their defensive rotations are kind of weird, as in they're super aggressive defensive rotations. Their goal is completely open until it's not.
Well, gonna be just to see on how it develops, because Renegades, if with weird rotations, get some demos. As this net gonna be in favor of NXT. Fever trying to turn aggressively on that one. It was a demo, and it looked like, I think that's CJ's perspective we're looking at. He was ready to move upfield, but should have rotated the net. Slips one in. First goal for NXT.
Nitrous just threading the needle. Ooh. Renegade's able to get it off that kickoff, but NXT collapses on it well in the defense. CJ chips it off of the nose of BU. Uncharacteristic. Usually BU has fantastic 50s. If Fever is able to keep it under control. CJ sends this one back upfield. Good shot off the backboard, but Nitrous is there. Backboard defense for NXT, so far strong. And that has been something that's been pretty characteristic of them, honestly. So we've seen that Renegades has tried to develop a lot of plays off that backboard. They're going to have to pivot around that and recognize that NXT has that shut off pretty good.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this, too, is we just, I think, in my personal opinion, amped up the competition a little bit. Obviously, we've seen NXT have performances, top 16, you know, make some plays as it's going to break down here. And my turn to cast a curse the situation, but I do think they are going to have a little bit more of a difficult time trying to find some of these goals. You're going to expect a little bit less mistakes. One thing I noticed about this team when they originally came in was foundationally they are solid. They will rotate cleanly. They will not make the big glaring mistakes unless you force them, which Renegades does there. It puts them in an awkward spot, and they tie it back up. So excited to see this one develop truly, and appreciate you guys all being here with us as we jump back into it. 2 minutes gone by, neutral game. As it goes into the corner, Nitrous not able to get that touch. So it's going to be CJ who does win it. Fever up aggressively, but a demo on Kami allows for a breakout chance from NXT as they get possession back in their favor. Skills up high, early challenge by CJ, can't find it. And with plenty of boost, going to drop that one down, and a big clear probably from Fever. No, he's going to keep it close, grab some boost, and play it up high.
Something I'm noticing from Renegades here that might come back to bite them at some point is they are giving NXT too much time in the midfield to keep control of that ball. And all of these players really like to play with it in the air. So if you give them time, they will capitalize on it. And that might come back to bite them here if NXT can figure out that they have the time to do stuff with it. Nitrous especially is deadly if you give him time in the air.
Well, we saw what Renegades could do with some of those double touches that were absolutely pristine from Kami and Fever and CJ even. As of right now, pretty neutral game. Everybody just kind of vying for that possession. Is that what goes in the midfield? It's a good shot and turn by Skills. What a shot from the midfield.
I told you, Nitrous and Skills can just somehow find each other. There, Nitrous just lets it go. Skills calls him off of it. Skills just with a banger from the midfield.
Yet a lot of people think they got to dribble it down and get close, and the nice thing about that is even if it doesn't go in, it's immediate pressure. You force the person on defense to go up and make a save. You're in position to go put pressure on. So, again, NXT back on top. Keeping a pretty big threat as that one goes back to Fever. Not really going to touch, so it's going to pitch the other way. Fever and Skills working together until Skills rotates out. So in a position, this one goes back the other way. He's there in rotation. Still very low on boost. Only 15. Keeps a soft touch. That could be punished, but no, it's a fake. Kami goes by. See you later. And he goes back into the midfield. CJ's there. Off the ceiling. Awkward touch. No, it's Kami. Where's the follow-up? There's Fever. That one's going to drop down and get pushed to the corner. Should be safe here. As a great redirect clears it back the other way. No, CJ over to Kami. Kami's got the angle. He puts it away. What a find by CJ and Kami.
Great connection here. CJ to Kami off the back wall to spike it in. Neither Skills nor BU were expecting that little redirect gloriousness from Kami, but they are able to find it. So CJ to Kami, deadly combination so far this game and this series. Might be something that NXT could potentially look to stop, although Fever, historically the better passer in this case. But CJ, so far playing midfield pretty well.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to watch Renegades and how they've developed since the addition of Fever, because he is such an offensive threat. Very mechanical, kind of in line with the guys like Amphis and everybody else that get easily talked about. But that's what actually makes me appreciate Kami so much more. The one player I haven't mentioned in the rotation. While he does demo and kind of does all the the workhorse stuff, we saw he's got the mechanics as well. I've seen Kami at times. He'll dunk somebody, land on the sidewall, and then turn it into a flip reset goal, all in the same string of play. So plenty of people, especially now in Rocket League, are capable to do it all. It's just a matter of being able to capitalize on that opportunity that's presented. So again, 2-2, 25 to go. Pass in the midfield. That one, unfortunately for CJ, going to get away from him. We should be able to deny the corner boost as Kami a little bit off the wall early there, but a big clear from Fever probably coming out with plenty of boost. He's going to keep it close and actually drop it down solo. So over the top, ditch to CJ. It's an open net, and it's going to be 8 seconds. They go up by 1.
Super awkward situation for Nitrous here, or sorry, Skills. Forced to really make that challenge, make it early, but CJ was just ready for that one to chip up into his grasp. Nitrous can't make the touch on it. CJ's just a little bit too quick, and BU's just a little bit late on that cross rotation. So NXT will go down 1 late here. They are trying to find it back, force an overtime potentially. Fever just wants to put it on the ground, and he will. Renegades takes game number 1.
Yeah, close fight early on as we take a look at the highlights. Started off with Nitrous with that one that kind of skidded past. But Renegades always had an answer, and I think that's what's credible to them, is despite some opportunities from NXT really taking advantage of some open opportunities. Renegades does find the passing plays. They got the team stuff going, but this one, a big breakdown. That's just Renegades controlling possession. They find a way to capitalize. They have a lot of space in that midfield. You even saw the patience on the right-hand side when they were dribbling it out. And all it takes is just one shot, clean on target, and it catches the guys rotating. So, well played by Renegades to get the first one here, but not an easy win by any means. It's 80% chance to win the series. Winning game 1 is a very big deal in closing out a series. It's super important.
Well, whatever it is, it's completely flipped on its head for NXT. And you know what? You know what I said about BU not being mechanical? Never mind. BU's just a god. Wow. All hail Savior BU.
Well, Direct is in chat, and he says depends on the region, but Direct, just say I'm right, and then actually provide the stats if you could. That'd be greatly appreciated. Actually, you know what, Direct? You're not working right now. You're chilling. Just relax. Just know I'm right, depending on the occasion. We'll take that. Okay, Direct, the only thing I will say is there a time where winning game 1 is not good for a region? That's what I want to know. Either way, BU, nasty shot.
If I recall correctly, SSA, I think, when I was casting their main events, I think SSA had something of a weird relationship with game 1s, especially for the Orlando Pirates.
Yeah. Well, Direct just said a quick no. So, basically, depending on the region, it's much higher. ENA and NA are around 70. Yeah, that's a lot. So imagine having which we are in NA right now. Renegades pending, obviously they're in Detroit currently at headquarters, but a 70 to 73% advantage by winning game 1. Maybe that's the problem with what's going on with NXT. Win their game 1s and they flip the narrative of those game 5s, game 7s.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? If they could just come out of the gates a little bit harder, a little bit faster. There we go. Nitrous going for the... Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, what does CJ do there?
Absolutely nothing. And this is something else, a little wrinkle in the game plan that we've seen from Skills and Nitrous. Nitrous just does this all the time. Just Goomba stomps the opponents to let Skills push through or BU push through. He's really good at that linebacker position.
Yeah, really happy, though, to see CJ recognized in a 1v2. You just got to send it and hopefully put a body in the way. Because even if he gets demoed, maybe a bump happens and the ball goes the other way. Either way, great setup from that deadly duo you mentioned in our pregame. That one's going to come down. CJ with the dunk, and this one trying to place in another dangerous spot, but no follow-up as deep third. Tommy run out of boost, and if only he had more. The bump end up working out on Nitrous, but can't get to it to put it in. These Renegades still on offense, trying to get back into this one. It's a 2-goal lead from NXT. But that one cut in half, almost is a beautiful save from Skills. Puts it back the other way. Still offense from Renegades here, but man, NXT's defense has been impressive.
I keep telling you, Lawler, the goal is open until it's not. And they can just collapse on that line and somehow keep the ball out with these miraculous saves and still keep their momentum on defense. Aggressive defending from NXT. BU's gonna try and make it an aggressive offending here with a pass down. Kami able to predict it and save it out. Sent it back upfield too, but Nitrous is there.
Said aggressive offending, and I immediately think of like offensive, not in the sense of like gameplay being on offense, but like he's gonna just start typing in chat and just being mean aggressively. And I was like, that's not very nice. I thought this was like a friendly show match, but I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. Like quick chats that are just rude, like incoming spam and like what a save.
I mean,
a mental game.
BU's first goal of this game was definitely offensive.
I'd give you that. Spiking it down and sending a statement as Renegades has not been able to find one, but again, the defensive Skills stands tall. He's able to keep that one out, and they bring it back the other way. Quick counterattack here from NXT, and are going to place it, but Fever reads it perfectly. Great save and push to the side, but they have not been able to get out of their own half. It's going to be reliant on Kami, who takes to the skies, off the ceiling, makes it awkward. But again, someone from NXT in a perfect position to bring it back the other way. As of right now, Renegades had a really tough fight to win game 1 and just can't find the back of net here in game 2.
CJ coming across, has to control that midfield here, otherwise it's going to get sent back for another minute in their defensive zone. Kami is able to push this one through after a bit of confusion on the NXT goal line. BU just could not keep control of this one. CJ takes it away from him, takes his pocket and sets it across for Kami. And it's only a 1-goal deficit now for Renegades.
A really big play as well there from CJ. Minimal boost, and he just stays with it. Good 50s lead to an opportunity, and they punish. That one over the top, trying to get a read. No dunk there from CJ, so he's going to rotate to this back corner. Should be here for this. And he turns it into a back pass. So a nice soft touch from Fever. He's got an air dribble bump. There's no way he misses that one.
My goodness.
And a huge turn of events here from Renegades. That's a beautiful play from Renegades.
Fever bumps out Skills to secure the goal. Manages to push it through. So 2-2 now. And you know what? I'm just completely used to this happening. This is fine. This is normal.
It is crazy to think about, like, just like a few minutes ago, BU started off with a nasty double touch. And you're just like, oh, it's all for naught. Okay, cool. Like, that's so deflating. I get it, man. I've been there. I've seen the game 5 like antics from both Gimmick and AXB and Beast Mode and Com, and just be like, oh, we tied it up, we got it, and it's gone. And it just hurts. It hurts so much. I've been there, man. I get it.
Oh, that was predicted the whole way. The pre-jump from Nitrous, that was a little bit aggressive on the side of NXT, but they had a good opportunity. Good thing for Renegades that they were able to read that one coming from a mile away. Skills is able to get up to it. Oh no, what a save from CJ. Another shot. Skills gets the redirect. Wow, BU to Skills.
It's a great touch over the top, and you thought potentially a save, and that one a little bit difficult. Again, it's put in a really tough spot, and you're trying to make a save, but I actually think that was stopped from being cleared to the side because of the player over the top. Keeps it in front, and they get a goal, but again, still 10 seconds. Renegades has shown they've done this before as it's played in the midfield. Into the corner, 2v1. Can CJ get around? No, it's too soft. Still alive, on target. Skills throws it down, and they tie up the series.
There was never any doubt in my mind, Lawler. As soon as I saw it get tied up, I knew NXT was taking the game. That is the script that NXT writes for every single series. I swear it's part of their game plan at this point, so they will tie it up. And before we move on to analysis here, Lawler, I have seen in the chat we have the team moms supporting us tonight. Nitrous Mom and Mama Skills. Everybody in this chat, give them a round of applause. every time we have an NXT stream, they are here. And something that we don't see often enough in the esports scene is the parents coming out and supporting their kids.
The side of it is more so the fact that they are taking the time to show investment in what their kids are doing, which is all we ask for. Obviously, not everybody has that, so the time that we do is really important. So absolutely love it. Glad to see it. And hopefully someday you get to root on them in a live event, because that is truly a special moment. So again, credit to all the support, whether it be for us in the back end here by our production or these players coming in and showing their merit, but also the reason why they're here in the first place, their moms. So thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate you all being here. And we jump into game 3, 30 seconds by. A lot of offense from NXT.
Oh my.
And what a crazy start is a bump play. I don't know if he got bumped out of that or just whiffed it. Either way, NXT strikes first again. It comes off of some interesting offense.
Oh, BU just moved Kami out of the way, and Skills double bump for the save, or to prevent the save. And yeah, that's going to give NXT the lead.
Yeah, good bump play. And again, trying to make that effort count, because in that situation, obviously, he's kind of in no man's land. He's got no boost. He's got not a whole lot he can do. So might as well send it all, and it pays off. The shot right on target does bonk off one player and is pushed the other way. Boost secured in the midfield. CJ trying to force this one out. Does play it patiently, ends up working out, and it goes past one. Kami not going to be there, but Fever is, as they work downfield together. That's a drop down pass. Could be advantageous, but it's not there. Kami up to CJ. They play it back, and no, he misses. It was a great give and go, not in the conventional way on the field. Looked like it could have been something special for Renegades as Fever comes down and makes a save.
Man, NXT really making Renegades sweat on this defense. They are just making crazy save after crazy save, and they have to. You can tell by the way they're rotating on defense, too. They are not comfortable with how this NXT squad is pushing them back to the back wall every single time and forcing them to rotate through such a tiny lateral area that they really don't have time to go over and get boost. NXT playing the boost star of game 2.
Crazy thing is kind of reminiscent of our last series where we saw, you know, Renegades that came out. They showed that, hey, we're the better team, even though much closer this time around. It wasn't like a 4-0, 4-1, nothing. But NXT very much so solidified, and luckily no ridiculous bounce goal on this one. Those are the ones that we hate the most. But yeah, NXT is really sending it to Renegades. And this is kind of those adjustment periods of why I usually tend to give Renegades a lot of credit is I've seen them in these situations before, even in their own region, and they usually find a way to bring it back. But a pinch like that, CJ should be able to get back in time. And keeping it within one, obviously of huge importance, able to play in that 0-second time as BU comes flying in, bumping CJ out of the way. God, it's such a smart play. Back pass and a boost deny.
That's something that they've honestly been working on over the last like 3 or so months, and during the course of the winners split, playing that bit of a smarter, more conservative game. In the fall split, we were seeing them much more consistently just kind of throwing the ball at the net and hoping something sticks. But lately, it's been more about a calculated game plan, still with the aggression, but recognizing when they have to kind of go back and recalculate a little bit.
Getting a little bit of mistake, but the support is there, which is what you want to see. Having players in position to help out in case it doesn't work out. This one goes into the midfield. And Kami going to play that downfield. You've got an air dribble bump, possibly a double touch from CJ. He's been working on those, and it's going to bounce in, tied back up by Renegades.
Slugfest back and forth. Very close series thus far. That's just a great play from CJ all the way, bringing that home. Not much you can do if you're an NXT defender in that case. Unless you're already on the wall, you're not getting to that touch. And it's so hard to predict where he's going to go with that. So just beautiful offensive play by Renegades.
Big fake by Kami going underneath. That's the second time we've seen him do it. CJ continuing to show his 50-50 skills, being a bit of a bully. Bounces it high, but Fever doesn't read it. He also takes the boost. So CJ in a bit of a predicament. Now to pick up these pennies. And as it goes off the back wall, big clear and turned on. Minimal boost. He's going to wave dash up. Can't get to it. So pass across by Skills. Back into the midfield. And making it a little bit awkward. Does have a flip reset. And of course, the rule of flip reset, you must use it if you have it. Does it exactly there. Big clear down. Fever. We've seen him score on this before. No reset for him. So BU, aggressive, forcing 50s in the midfield, but Renegade's actually the beneficiary at the end of it all.
Nitro's going to carry it off the backboard. Being given plenty of time and respect by the Renegades for that one, but unfortunately he's just not able to get a hold of it. Drops it for Skills, who can't get it past the midfield. Big pass to the mid, too, but no one was there for the redirect. Force back into the blue zone. Clear backup field, too. Potentially looking at an overtime if neither one of these teams can get a good offensive foothold. That's a long clear from Skills, and another one from BU!
Is that a match?
What a play!
Hello? He air dribbles it into the midfield and then just blasts it downfield, but he doesn't give up on the play. Chases it downfield, adds a little bit extra spice to it. 20 seconds left. NXT on top.
NXT knows how to commit the third and when to commit the third. It's something that they used to be really bad at, but as of late, they've been significantly better with it, and they committed the third there, and it worked out for them. It might not here, though. What a save from BU to prevent the overtime. One more attempt by CJ, potentially one more by Fever. He's going to have to keep it off the ground, though. Skills will put it down, and NXT takes the lead in the series 2-1.
Fantastic play on that last second, and that's what you want, especially because these are young players coming in, and I'm interested if we do get, you know, the ability to talk to them later, and a great appreciation to everybody who has been playing and is still sticking around and watching the matches. Noxus, Nebra, everybody that has come and showed support. It is greatly appreciated. Someone said in chat, I'm going to steal it. Beautiful. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Precisely. And, you know, to kind of talk about that, these guys have played against Flashes of Brilliance enough, which, you know, you've got Jacob, Spider.
Right.
You know, a bunch of the old crowd there who are their idols, who these guys grew up watching, you know, in season 1, 2, 3 of RLCS, back when, you know, the dominant team was still, you know, F2. But they played against them enough times, and they've kind of gotten used to that kind of starstruck. But CJ is another beast entirely. He is still so strong, especially in that OCE region and on the international level, that it might be different for them. So I do hope we get to talk to them later. But historically, they were like, yeah, it was massive starstruck at first, but then just kind of faded away over time. Oh no!
Oh,
Big
those
miss
are the ones
from
you gotta
BU.
put away. Luckily, though, Renegades does just throw it downfield, obviously trying to just apply pressure. And it's something that, you know, we talk about the owning of possession of Skills, and the rest of the guys doing a good give and go. We got a triple commit on defense and a chance to punish here from NXT. And dump that one off to Nitrous. Skills trying to go for something. Can he get in front of it? No. Fever comes checking in. Makes a beautiful save, able to get a boost deny and take another. So he's put himself completely out of the play. It's a team pitch and a beautiful clear. Intentional or not, it doesn't matter. It still looks good. Is this one back into the corner? Kami being a bully. Just trying to whisper sweet nothings. Saying, hey, you don't want the ball. It's fine. It's okay. Just let it happen.
No, just, it's okay. Go into that Dark Knight. Skills is going to make Kami go into the Dark Knight. Renegades is
Have you
able to
seen
get
the new
clear,
Batman
though.
yet? Is it any good? I hear a lot of good things
No,
about it.
I'm actually not a fan of Batman.
That's fair.
I'm actually not a DC fan at all.
This boo DC. Yeah, I don't know. Last time I watched a DC movie was the Wonder Woman one. I was just like, what is this? I want it to be good, but it's just not.
I mean, I don't even follow Marvel, but I mean, at least I feel so the writing in DC Comics is not so great, personally.
Production's not gonna let that slander happen. That's fair. Either way, good save by CJ, showing that he is the Batman as he comes from the Raptors and makes a save, but he's back on defense. Gonna have to swing back in. And a missed touch by Kami and a lot of boost deny here by NXT. They're in a good position to get a goal off of this one. Slow play and pushing it down.
They're going to have to find some creative ways to do it, though, because Renegades has kind of figured out the passing lanes and what they're trying to go for. So maybe pull out one of those crazy free jump aerials that they've managed to pull out over the last couple weeks. That would be something that would really kind of get them back into this game. I mean, they're not out of the game at all, but kind of tie this game back up and bring it firmly back into their control. Because Renegades has kind of started to figure out how they can defend, even with NXT's taking all the boost. Quick shots like that, though. It's a good way to start it.
Still defended well by Renegades. His Fever just bouncing around downfield. Kami's going to sweep in a little bit more boost. So CJ is able to grab the midfield, and he's actually going to fake challenge. He gets possession for it and just stays high, trying to force a 50. BU not going to fall for it. Gets past 2 and does his job. So rotates out, tries to deny corner boost. Not there. So good opportunity thrown down to Kami. He has a second touch. Can he put it away, make it look pretty? No. A good save by Nitrous. Big body in the way. Gets possession back for his team, and a challenge high should put this back in Renegade's favor.
Renegade's not giving BU any time in the air. They recognize what he can do, but even then, BU's so good at the 50s that he can still make it work. Fortunately, it does get sent back over. Fever going to be a bully in the back line. Kami also a bully in the back line, but BU keeps good control in the corner, and that's not going to give Renegades any opportunity to score, despite the double demo.
Good infield shot opportunity does not land, so BU's slowing it down. Applying that pressure and making it interesting for the defense of Renegades as they are scrambling, trying to find a way to get behind this. Off the backboard, Kami's going to be forced to jump. He does tip it one way, can't find the other with Fever. So dish right back, infield pass, trying to put a little bit more pepper on that one. Could have been a good give and go, but a pre-jump by Nitrous, trying to keep this pressure in, denies boost. And they do it again. They pair it with a demo, and it's going to be left to CJ. So a great touch brings it around. Hoping to get that last one back, but NXT has been able to keep offense for well over a minute. And the most ridiculous pass I've ever seen with the other side of the car ends up working out. Bumped out of the play. Amounts to nothing. So Renegades taking their time, trying to put one on a dime and dish it up. Awkward touches and pass down. No, BU again going to bail them out, paired with the demo and bring it back.
Double demo. It's not going to amount to anything, though. Renegades is going to tip it back into the orange zone. They have to take it all the way back up the field with 0 seconds on the clock. And Skill's kind of flat-footed going for that. Going to try and carry it back out. They are able to keep it up. Nitrous back up field. Is anyone there from NXT ready for that? Skills is BU shot. What? Oh my goodness. So close to going to overtime. BU can't keep it off the ground though. And Renegades will barely get away with this one by the skin of their teeth.
I never knew it was a bad thing for production to be good, because like Shink doesn't even give us a chance to like soak in that moment. He's like, not straight to the highlights. Here we go. He's like right on the money with it, which is incredible. But my God, dude, like that shot, the scoreboard, like, nope, Renegades wins. Like, let it breathe for a bit, man. So I can too. We are still seeing some cool pass plays and everything else. And then we are getting on this half in this series some very exciting things from both rosters. Hopefully this isn't going to just be a bump play. And oh man, they don't even touch it. They just let it go in. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It wouldn't be NXT if they weren't down by 1 early in the game. So that's just how this works. Skill's in a bad spot. I don't know if that was maybe a Fields flip, but I don't think so. I think he was just trying to gain control of the car again. But yeah, early goal there for Renegades. We saw NXT come back from that already once in the series, though.
Yeah, not something you want to climb out of, but we have, like you said, seen them do it before. As a flip reset here from Nitrous does fool one of the defenders, but everybody with plenty of boost trying to move in on this one. CJ expends all of his and denies the corner, so should be able to rotate back in once they bring it back downfield. Great clear. Fever's there trying to force that infield, and this is kind of the difference you're seeing as well from Renegades in contrast to Power. A lot of times they're playing the corner. That's a beautiful shot from Kami with that immediate threat, right? They don't bring it all the way into the corner and then just hope through pressure they can get something. Immediately straight on target, force the defender to make a save, and just one after another. That's a beautiful placement from Kami, though.
Great placement to keep it away from BU indeed, but the bigger thing there was that NXT's defense kind of broke down a little bit there. We weren't quite sure what was going on, caught off guard a little bit, so they have to kind of shore that back up here because Renegades is starting to find holes in the defense. And NXT needs to kind of regather themselves and shore it back up.
A little bit scary there from Kami. Very patient on that challenge. Thought it might have gone past, but times it well. Forces a 50 and it pinches the other way. Another threatening touch with a flying V of confusion, it looked like, as three of their players like bobbing and weaving down the other way. Not sure who to challenge. Eventually it is Renegades coming through. And as the challenge backwards towards the net does stop the play from developing. Big pinch and straight back into the hands of Renegades. as big challenges here. And going to slow it down. Something you see a lot of these well-refined teams. They recognize, hey, I'm on defense. Doesn't mean I need to panic. Slow it down, force some challenges, and try to dribble it out. And even if we don't, we force the defender to make a 50. And we get some time for boost. Either way, shot on. Fever with the clutch save. Oh my gosh. Doesn't get closer than that.
Skill's gonna take this one back away from Kami. BU gonna jump for this one. Off the backboard, drop down. Long clear. That's going to give Renegades some breathing room. And NXT right back at it. BU into the corner. Gonna look to 50 it to mid. What a great 50 for BU. Nitrous, I don't think, was fully expecting it. Couldn't jump in time. Wisely backs off of it. Gonna fake out one. Almost able to fake out Fever, but he does not bite on that one.
Much over the top, and although skills didn't go for it, actually I think it made Renegades stop in their tracks. So it actually ended up working out pretty well. As long as he's able to rotate through, get back into possession, and he does. So halfway here, and Renegades trying to put themselves on match point, but that was just going to clear the whole way, and BU's going to be rewarded for it.
That's a great little chip from BU there. 50s are his strong suit, if you haven't heard me say it 1,000 times. Is able to take it off of the hood of the Renegade attackers. And yeah, sometimes that's just the way it happens. So just past halftime here. Still a 1-goal lead for Renegades, but NXT closing.
Yeah, I've seen CJ a lot of times keep forcing those 50s, and this time he finally gets punished for it. So as unfortunate as those are the ones you are super happy to take. Puts them back within 1 and in striking range here. As off the back wall, early challenge and flip.
They were trying for the team.
And just bounce into the
they
whole
were
way.
trying for the team pinch.
Yeah, they were. It is funny too, because both sides, it's another pinch goes the other way. This one is actually going to be red. Cameo, if he puts that away, he pre-jumps the heck out of that one. It's in the midfield. CJ staying patient. He's going to play it high and control it. So now communicating with his team, who's left, who's right. Kami on the left. Puts some pressure on, and Nitrous with good control is going to bring this back in, but met aggressively by Renegades. You see that on the side of the demo as well. So just trying to find that one chance, that one opportunity to find a shot. Player bumped off. You can't get the ball. Might as well get him.
Whoa.
Is that almost found by NXT? Can they find it here? No, it's going to take 2 Renegades defenders, and they're going to try to clear it out, but a surprising challenge actually from BU. He's able to keep it in.
BU is able to keep it in is probably the story of his entire Rocket League career, and him keeping it in will allow Skills to put it in the back of the net. Great 50, great control, Skills, great placement, great positioning, great time. NXT, great everything on offense to make that happen.
Neutralized yet again. 2-2. And in the game and in the series. Just trying to see if we're going to see a trend and a pattern here other than, yes, same. The whole way through. A lot closer than maybe some expected, but it's been exciting no matter what the situation. Trying to find some sort of play that can stick here for NXT. As it's a well-placed shot top right. Finally, the offense rewarded.
Great chip up by Nitrous, taking it off the midfield pass by BU. Up, down, quick as you can. CJ cannot react to it. Nitrous showing why he is one of the best players in the air, and if you give him time, he will capitalize every time. Skills almost capitalizing off of a not-so-great kickoff by Renegades.
Again, immediately turned to challenge. There was minimal boost on that player, but still recognizing, hey, we have 2 players low. If I don't turn and challenge this, it's a free transition down the other way. Something NXT has done a very good job for is tooth and nail. They force Renegades to fight to get it out, and you're going to see bigger clears because of that. They recognize, hey, these early aggressive challenges, if we can just boom it downfield and follow it up and deny the clear back, we're going to be in a really good spot. So again, a booming clear here. Skills says, heck that. I'm going to read this. Nitro, like, so aggressive on these challenges, taking it to Renegades, but it's kind of what you have to do right now as a shot comes in and Skills plays it away. So trying to kill this one. It bounces into the midfield. Dangerous, but Fever can't get it. NXT back on top in the series.
3-2 now, and they will actually put Renegades on match point. And, you know, you can say, and we've said it already a couple times tonight, Lawler, that, you know, you can only put so much stock in scrims. But in this case, it's just looking like NXT when they're on offense, they are managing to genuinely find the wrinkles in Renegades defense. It looks like Renegades, like, they are honestly trying here. It looks like NXT's kind of lit a fire under their butts, and they are really putting in the sweat now.
Hey, man, we're going to go into these tough matches, and people are going to just discredit us. It is good to see that they're competitive, and at this point, at match point. So, chance to close it out, just like Renegades was at one point. And excited to see how this one plays, because right now NXT has done a really good job of honestly bringing it to Renegades.
What a 50 by BU, and the presence of mind to recognize there was a challenge coming and that he wasn't going to try and put it in. He was just going to try and keep it in the offensive zone for his teammates. That is what differentiates BU, I feel, as though, from many of the other midfielders in North America, is that presence of mind to recognize when it's better for him to go for the 50 and when it's better for him to try and take the shot.
A little bit of overlap here, and honestly harder than it looks. When you got that many players kind of right on top of each other, it does get a little bit panicky because it does take only one touch to force it, but I've seen that a lot from NXT, and they haven't really been punished for it by Renegades. It seems like the guys are very comfortable with being in very quick succession to each other, which does allow them to transition quite well. As long as that overlap is not happening, which, again, credit to the team. They really haven't had any overlap or any double commits. Is this one just going to get fed mid? And, of course, that quick succession, Nitrous is there to punish. Wow, he did not expect that to pinch. He did not expect that to pinch off that sidewall.
Neither Fever nor Kami, honestly. Kami jumped on it, but was just a little bit behind it. Completely unexpected pass, but Skills gets it done.
Pass off the ceiling.
Fever will take it up top. Yeah. BU. Oh, my goodness.
I guess the question to ask you is obviously NXT. You say, hey, we're going to go to 7 no matter what.
Don't you dare.
I'm just saying you guys are in a good position. You know, I'm doing my job, man. I'm just saying you guys are in a good position. You're up by 1. There's no way you can throw this, right?
Stop. Stop it right now. JonTron memes, stop.
I'm just saying, if I put it out there, maybe I'll cast a curse the opposite. But now that I'm paying light to it, maybe it uncast. What's happening? We don't know.
I mean, it's payback from when I accidentally cast a cursed V1 in the grid back when that was a thing.
And so no one cares. It's fine. We go next.
Skills taking it up top, looking for the top shelf. Double commit to get the save, though. That's going to be an opportunity for NXT to at least keep control of midfield, and they will. Nitrous in a foot race for that one. BU can't collapse on it. Skills is just going to be forced to play this one back and keep control. 50 with Fever. Oh, my goodness. BU is almost perfectly positioned to put that one on target.
Touch across and apparently ads on the channel did not get disabled. Thanks, Twitch. Appreciate you. Not that anybody can hear that. We're going to have a fun recap. Maybe we'll just run it back. Shink, I trust you to do something to make up for this. Either way, Twitch can suck a butt. Either way, we're going to stick in it as it's pinched up and fights in the midfield, which for the most part have been in favor of NXT, as CJ going to the sky for that one. It is read well in an early challenge. Something that NXT's been doing a really good job is they're not giving anything for free. If something goes up in the air, if someone's doing a certain thing, they're there to meet it. As another shot comes here, all 3 players there. So minimal boost, pass across is an opportunity, and he goes for the pass instead. I think everybody in position ready to read that shot and just trying to mix it up, but can't connect to make it powerful.
Nitrous to midfield, was looking for Skills, hoping he would commit on that. You instead is going to chip it with the backboard. CJ is there to control it well. Controls it out to Fever, who doesn't get the touch on it. Was he out of boost? Nitrous back to mid. CJ forced to make a big save. That's going to give it for Kami, who's able to control it back up the field. But, man, they are struggling to stand up against this NXT offense.
Been a lot of time and no goals conceded for NXT. Or since the first one where it was that pinch off the back wall and across. They've been fighting tooth and nail in the midfield and doing a great job of it. His skills recognizing it, but Fever as well knows that a player's coming in and immediately just tries to hit it away, get it past, find some way to keep offense on this orange half, but they just can't. Renegades struggling, honestly, at finding a way to to create continuous pressure. They just haven't been able to do it.
No, NXT's just cutting off in the midfield very well. They're playing that third man back that you had talked about earlier on in the night. NA kind of managing to make that work. And I just don't think Renegades is quite used to playing against that meta yet.
The way. Last player back in skills. Beautiful time. As he rotates through and slows it down. So now all three players and only 10 seconds left. Renegades has to find a goal, and if they don't, they're sent home. And by home, I mean in Detroit, where they're playing from.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, almost on target, but he's just gonna let it drop. And NXT Esports completes the upset. 4-2 over Renegades. That is a huge win for NXT. And a huge win for NA bubble scene, honestly. And people will say, I can already see what's going to happen. The conversation tomorrow is going to be, oh, maybe OCE's not as good as they think they are. But I'm going to be honest with you. That was just a credit to the NA bubble scene.
That is going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully all of you enjoyed the fact that we are finally seeing more and more international competition. And it's not over. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, as always, make sure you guys give thanks to the people involved and show support to all the players and the production and everybody else behind the scenes, including Wojtek, the one putting this edit together. Also, like the video if you guys enjoy it, and make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because later this week, we have a team that I made a comparison to back like 2 months ago, going up against the team I did compare them to. More international scrims coming this week. Make sure you don't miss out on it. So with that said, thumbs up, subscribe, notifications. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.